Our next module allows you to consider some special topics in health psychology to really round out your understanding of this discipline, such as positive psychology, developmental considerations, pain management, and prevention. I hope you will think about the topics we have studied previously as you go through the final part of this course. For example, how do these relate to the biopsychosocial model? What are important considerations in research design for these topics? How would health psychologists use these in their clinical practice? How do these contribute to stress and coping? And how do these relate to our models of health behavior change? As always, I hope you consider how these topics are personally relevant to you in your own health and your career aspirations. As a doctor, nurse, physical therapist, or athletic trainer, how would these topics directly or indirectly impact your clients? There's just one Powtoon for this module, so I'll be outlining the next 4 topics. In the first week, you'll be considering topics related to positive psychology, such as resilience. You've had a portion of Chapter 6 to read, a health profile, and a quiz for this week. I have also provided a great TED Talk from a prominent researcher in positive psychology, Martin Seligman, and a recent article that was published in the New Yorker that outlines research in resilience. For this topic, your health profile is to answer the following. How has positive psychology contributed to your biopsychosocial health, or how could it improve it? I want you to take 2 tests from Martin Seligman's website and discuss how they help you better understand your approach to life from a positive psychology perspective. Do they confirm what you already knew about yourself or open up a new perspective of understanding? Utilize information from the 2 sources, both the textbook and the New Yorker article, to help support and explain your understanding of yourself based on the science of positive psychology. In the next topic, you will be considering developmental considerations in health psychology. I may be a bit biased as a developmental psychologist, but I think this has critical implications for how different health-related topics are considered. For example, what does pain management mean for an infant, a 6-year-old, a teenager, an older adult? To help you consider how age can impact health behavior and decisions, I'm asking you to go back and read some excerpts from your book. For those of you who head into a health-related profession, how would you approach individuals differently based on their age? For children, what are some cognitive or psychosocial factors that you may need to consider? Are there certain points in the lifespan that you think may be more critical for some health topics we have discussed, like the onset of health disease, such as anorexia or substance abuse, or the level of risk an individual has, such as injury, or even when we should target some of these conditions. This entire class, I've challenged you to consider context and what the implications of context are for inter-individual differences and intra-individual change in health. Age is a great example of one critical context. This week is pretty light. I want you to read the following topics in your text. Chapter 7 covers some information on sleep and injury control and prevention. Chapter 8 goes over eating disorders. Chapter 9 discusses adolescence and substance use and abuse, as well as prevention programs related to smoking. Your health profile on prevention is the following. Choose one topic discussed this week that highlights the contextual difference of developmental functioning. How does this provide insight into health and well-being in your life or in the life of someone close to you, such that a health psychologist helping this person would need to or should have considered this in approaching their health? For your third topic of this module, I'm very excited to provide you some insight from an expert on pain that works here in our Jacksonville community. You first heard from Barbara Bruce when I provided you the interview of health psychologist way back in Module 1. Dr. Bruce works at Mayo Clinic and was specifically hired from Mayo in Rochester, Minnesota to develop a pain clinic here in Jacksonville. She's in the process of developing a mini lecture for us and has also provided us some videos that she recommends to help you think more about pain management. You need to read Chapter 14 and complete a quiz and health profile by Friday at midnight. With this, you will also need to answer the following health profile. This is a journal entry, so you won't need to complete a peer post for this topic. Considering the pain management mini lecture and videos, choose a type of pain that someone might need to manage. This could be something you personally struggle with, or someone you know, or it could be a typical chronic pain issue. For your topic, find 2 empirical articles to help you to create a pain management solution. Finally, I have saved what I consider to be a very important topic for the last. Everyone has heard the quote by Ben Franklin, "An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure." To finish out this semester, I am providing you an article I love called "No More Rock Scrubbing" to help you consider the role of prevention in society. Along with what is provided in your textbook on prevention, this will allow you to really consider what we as society and as individuals can do to prevent major health complications. Prevention is key. It can save lives and billions of dollars. I'm asking you to read pages in Chapter 6 to cover prevention, what it is and why it is important. After this, you can read Albie's article and answer the final health profile journal entry. How do you personally see prevention playing an important role in your health and well-being, or in that of a loved one? Using the terminology and information provided in the textbook and the opinion article of George Albee as references, describe what prevention could do for you and why it's critical for our society. Where do you think prevention could be better utilized by our society? Your quiz for this week is actually quite simple. I will be providing you a link to another Qualtrics survey like the one you completed after Module 1 to provide me feedback on the class. This is anonymous, so you don't have to worry about me knowing what you say. Your honest feedback to help improve this course is very appreciated. To get the points on the quiz, however, you have to finish the survey and get the secret word at the end. Then you can go into the quiz and enter the secret word to get full credit. Your learning objectives are similar for these final 4 topics. As you can see, first I want you to really get to know the terminology related to the topics, and second, to be able to apply and integrate it and really show that by the end of this class you know how to find empirical articles and base your understanding of health on research. You will notice you have a few topics that are lighter in requirements this final module, and this is because you also have your final module assignment and health profile summary to finish out the semester. Please take advantage of the lighter weeks to make progress on these, and don't leave them until week 15. For your final module assignment, you need to interview someone on a health behavior change that they attempted and or achieve and discuss their progress and success based on a model of health behavior change that we discussed in Chapter 6. I provided everything you need to complete this assignment in the Module 4 folder. Check out the document entitled Final Module Assignment. Follow the directions carefully and don't forget the rubric, and you will do great. The assignment requires that you come up with interview questions, you conduct an interview, you find a total of 3 empirical articles to integrate in your submission, and you submit a 2 to 3 page write-up in APA formatting. This is due by Friday, April 22nd at midnight. This final module assignment should help you to demonstrate your mastery of these topics while providing you an opportunity to apply the material to something personally interesting. Your other task before the end of the semester is to finish up health profile summary. This assignment should help you to integrate 3 health profiles from across the semester that are on a similar topic to allow you a chance to refine your writing, search for new information to support your understanding of your health, and hopefully have an aha moment on how different topics from the semester fit together. All the instructions you need for this assignment is posted under the Learning Module folder. Just scroll down to the very bottom. The document enclosed provides step-by-step instructions. Please follow along and use the rubric to be sure you get full credit. The assignment is due the same day as the module assignment, Friday, April 22nd at midnight. You are to the point in the semester where you need to figure out what your grade should be. And for some of you, this will be a pleasant surprise that might indicate you don't need to finish up some of the final health profiles or a quiz, or maybe you don't even need to do the final health profile summary. It all depends on how many points you've amassed over the course of the semester. I provided a document in the Home tab under our syllabus to help you calculate your grade. You need to add up your quizzes, health profiles, module assignments, and the health profile summary to see where you fall, or estimate where you will fall by the end of the semester. Please notice that I only count 65 points for the quiz and health profile categories. So if you add up your points in these categories and you're above 65, this could mean one of 2 things. First, it means you don't need to complete any more assignments. Second, it means that you should only add up 65 points even if you amass more across the semester. So for example, say you're going into week 14 and you add it up and you see you already have 65 points on health profiles. Then that would mean you don't need to complete a health profile for that week. Here's an example of how things might end up. So you can see with this student example that they obtained full credit on one of their categories, and when they added up their points, they had 174 points or a B plus if they didn't finish their health profile summary. For some of you, you may have to focus on different courses, and that might be enough where you just want to take the B plus and be done. But for others, you might want to go ahead and try for that A minus by completing the health profile summary. Email me if you'd like to come by my office hours to discuss your grade. I'm happy to meet with you and help you to add up your grade, but I'm not allowed by law to discuss your grade specifically over email. Finally, please take time to take the ISQ for this class as you start to get reminders from the university. ISQs are really helpful for us to be sure we're improving our courses. This is how the university evaluates us each year to be sure we are providing you a quality experience in our classes. And getting as many people as possible in a class to take it is really critical. I appreciate your time and your feedback. As I mentioned already, I'll also be asking for anonymous feedback in week 15 in place of the quiz. While the ISQ provides feedback that helps the university compare me and my class to other professors and courses, the feedback I designed is helpful in improving my course content specifically. As you have seen, I take your feedback serious, and it helps me immensely for reevaluating and redesigning the course. Since this is just my first time to teach health psychology online, your feedback is critical in helping. It's been a pleasure working with you over this semester. Good luck. I hope to hear from some of you, and I hope you finish up this semester strong and have a wonderful summer.